Hi, today's video is about unveiling the Singer 99K vintage sewing machine. If that's something you're interested in, please continue watching. Hi, welcome to my channel. Josie here. I'm glad to have you back again. It's been quite a while, not so long, I think 2 weeks since I last uploaded my last video. And today's video is about, it's not unboxing because it's not in the box, but I'll be showing you this amazing vintage sewing machine. Yes, I was blessed with this sewing machine by a lovely, sweet friend of mine, Hila from Saturday Night Stitch. She came to my house bearing this wonderful gift. She called it my Christmas present, but I would rather see it as my early Christmas present. It can't have been late. It's so gorgeous to have been late, but it's my early Christmas present from Hila. She's, if you've been to her channel, you probably know that she's an avid collector of vintage sewing machines, and I was glad when she blessed me with this, and I'm going to take you along, see what it can do and what potential she has. I've not yet given her names, so I'm also open to any suggestions of any names. So I'm going to show you the kind of stitches she can make, what she can really do, and who she is really. Then probably after that, at the end of the video, you'll be able to come up with a name for her. I insist it's a woman. This is a girl. She looks so pretty, and I'll tell you all about her. I got her when I received her from Hila. She was clean, really. She does a good, amazing job of giving them a good life. But I went inside, cleaned it up, unscrewed so many things, cleaned it up and oiled it. And probably something, this brings a lot back home, because I learned to sew on a vintage sewing machine. That was so many years ago. Could I say in the early 90s? Yeah, I'm not young, I've been here quite long enough. Yeah, in the early 90s I learned to sew on, I think I was 8, 9, on my mom's sewing machine. It was a manual Singer machine with a treadle, which wasn't easy because I couldn't get my feet at the bottom at the same time sit and reach the sewing machine. So I used to anchor onto the table to be able to reach the sewing machine. So when this was gifted to me, it was like my past coming back to life. But the difference with this, it comes with a motor, so it's an electric machine, and with this foot pedal, which is interesting because you need to just step on one bit for it to move. You can't step on the entire pedal. It's an interesting thing. So I thought I'll take you along and I show you the kind of stitches it can make and what this does really. I thought I'll share with you some facts about the Singer 99K machine. It was first introduced in 1911, and the first version they had didn't have a motor, so it wasn't electric. And there are those, I don't know what they call it, but they had that you roll for it to move. Then this came up, the one with the motor, in 1921, and they say that the Singer machine, the 99K, is a sturdy machine which should be able to sew through fine fabrics and thick fabrics, and the examples they gave were denim and leather. I thought we'd put that to a test. I'll try to look up for thin fabrics we can have a go at sewing thin fabrics, and denim, probably more layers of denim, and we see how far it can go, just in case this gets you down the rabbit hole and you also want to get yourself a vintage machine. But I'm really excited to have her, since this year I said I want to have a go at sewing jeans, so I think this won't disappoint. I think I shall have a go at sewing a few stitches, making a few stitches with different fabrics, and we see how we get along with this machine. Okay, keep on watching. I thought I would start by showing you how you wind the bobbin on this sewing machine. Let me make sure that we are getting everything in the picture. Yep, you start off by placing. How to wind the thread onto the bobbin, and these are the steps you take. Your first step is to put your thread up. You put it through this hook and then over here before you put the thread onto the bobbin. Okay, I've given my bobbin a head start. Just rolled a little bit onto there. Then just make sure it's onto here. Then of course onto here. push it to the very bottom. You want to get it to the very bottom, and here we go. Here we go. Voila, we are getting our bobbin wand. I think for now we shall stop there. That's our bobbin with our pink thread. You have to push it to the very bottom. Bobbin with the pink thread. I've decided to go with the pink one so we can have a clear view on all our projects we are working with. Then I'm going to show you how I would go ahead and thread this machine. I thought I'd go ahead and show you how we insert the bobbin into this machine. You slide this down, and this helps you. There's a little knob here. I don't know whether it's visible. Let me try and lift my camera for you to see. There's a knob here that you push that helps push up the bobbin. So we should go ahead and insert the bobbin. I'm sorry it doesn't seem as clear. Let me get it more visible. Let me see if I can do better than this. Yep, I think that might be better. And focus onto the bobbin for you. Yep, I insert it in. And of course there are grooves here that I must follow. And make sure. Yep. Pull it out. This is how you pull it out. You press that button, and of course with the thread coming from there, I'm going to pass it through here, then of course the last spot here, and when I'm pushing the bobbin cover back on, I make sure the bobbin thread is caught up in this little dent. There's a little hole here. It might not be as clear, but there's a little hole here where I make sure that it's inside. It comes through. Yeah, snapped on. Hope that's clear on my camera. Then we should go ahead and thread this machine. Like I said, it's not as different from the one I ever started with, but those were so many years ago. I've forgotten what I used to do. But the first step is to pull it onto here and then bring it onto the tension dial, through the tension dial. Then there is a little, let me see if I can focus onto that. There's a little metal piece here. It may not be evident, but it helps you guide the thread over. And once you pull it over, you have a chance for the thread to come back up here. So it's caught up in the little metal piece here. It may not be clear. Let me try to focus there. Yep. It's a little metal piece that might not be as clear. Then pull it back on here. I put the thread through here. Then of course, I get it through this little, thread it through. There's a little hole here where I've had to thread it through. Yeah, but I make sure that it first goes over there, then through there. And of course here there's a little place where it goes through. You pull it through, and there it does, it goes. And there's another place where you hook it through here. The very bottom it's in, then through the needle. It's not the easiest to get it through the needle. You probably need a needle threader, or you can use your eyes if you trust your eyes. But I've got my trusty threader, which came with my cover stitch machine. It's not your commonest thread. I don't know, the camera can't focus. Don't know if it's clear, but it's what I use to thread my cover stitch machine, and of course my overlocker. It's not the easiest to use here, but yeah, with a few try and errors you manage to get it through. Yeah, I managed to get the thread through, and there we go. And what I need to do before I start sewing, I have to make sure that this thread goes down and pulls out the bobbin thread, as we can see here. As we can already see, the bobbin thread is still through this hole, but we want to bring it out to get it ready for sewing. Now I'm not focusing too well, but hope this is helpful. So I want to go in and pull out the thread, roll the needle down, make sure it comes out with the thread, and voila. We have both threads here. Oh, I almost pulled out my needle thread. We have the bobbin thread is also up here, so we have it and we are ready to go. Yep. So I think our next step, we are going to have a go at sewing different types of fabrics. My paper scissors. Different types of fabrics, and we see the kind of stitches this machine can give us. With us, I've got some Georgette fabric. It's transparent. It's a see-through fabric. You can see through it. It's a fine fabric, so we want to give it a test to have a go at sewing fine fabrics. Then I've got a viscose. It's quite light. It's a viscose fabric. Those have a go at sewing a viscose fabric. Then I've got 2 pieces of denim, which I hope to first sew as a single layer, then fold it into 2 layers, and still we try with multiple layers of denim and we see how good it fares. So let's get on cracking. And I thought I would use a pink thread because it would be visible in a number of fabrics. And probably before we go on, this is the tension dial, which is common to no more really sewing machines. And here, over here, this machine it only makes straight stitches. However, it also has the option of reversing, so if you need to backtrack, you have an option for that. And if you can see over here that you get to choose the stitch length you want to use. It runs from number 6 to 30. However, 30 is the smallest and 6 is the longest stitch. And the beauty with it, and it's only when you push it up that it reverses. However, if you have to reverse and come back and lose your stitch, it will be painful. So you've got the option of locking in your stitch. So if I want to use the widest stitch, I have the option. I can open this up. This helps you release the lock to a particular stitch. So I open it up, so I'm able to go up to 6, which is the longest stitch we have. Don't know if that is clear. Let me get the camera closer so we can see what we are talking about. 6 is the widest stitch or longest stitch we have, longest stitch length. Then up to 30, which is the smallest. And when you go further, it's where you get reverse if you're backtracking. However, should you need to keep to just the 12 stitch, you don't want to backtrack, then come back, then have to adjust it again. You've got an option of locking the stitch to that number 12, so that should you need to backtrack, is it backtracking? To reverse, to reverse when you're sewing, you are able to come back to that exact spot because you managed to lock it to that stitch. Although you can still move to others, but you know you can only move only as far as you need it to move. That's that stitch length, the particular stitch you've locked it at. Okay, let's have a go at sewing. Let's have a go at sewing a stitch using the number 12 there. As you can tell, it's quite a noisy machine. It's quite noisy, but yeah, it comes with the edge. This is a beautiful stitch it has given us, if it's clear there. This is quite a small stitch. You could try and have a go now at using the longest stitch, which is a basting stitch. It's really good back and front. And this is over a viscose fabric. Let's have a go at sewing it with a number 6, which is supposed to be the longest stitch it offers. Yep. Let's go on. Yep, a noise machine. Probably pulled the thread while I was pulling it out, but it has given us quite a long basting stitch, if you can tell from there. It's quite a long basting stitch. I know the color doesn't show well because this has the pink, but probably you can tell. It's also quite neat in the back. And I can say the pulling together of the fabric had a lot to do with me pulling it out of there. I should be more gentle than that. But as you can tell, this is our long stitch, our longest, and this is a middle size stitch. It did well with the viscose. It hasn't pulled at the back. It's still a neat stitch. And I thought we would also have a go at sewing a few stitches with Georgette fabric. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, probably I could show you the inside. Yeah, it's still a good one because this is our besting stitch and it's still quite good because it's a besting stitch. You would expect to find it, see it at the bottom. And then let's have a go at sewing a few stitches with over on our Georgette fabric. I'll probably go with one of the shorter stitches to see how it would work out on this thin fabric. And I think we'll go with number 20. It's not the smallest, but let's start with number 20 and we'll see how it fares. Let's go. Actually, I wasn't pulling as hard. I was just giving it some assistance as it thread. However, I feel like it's a bit pulled onto the fabric a bit. Okay, this is number 20. It's quite a thin stitch. But in all honesty, you can tell the fabric was pulled onto a bit, but honestly, this is quite a small stitch length. It's 20. Who would ever want to sew with such a small stitch length? So I can fold the machine because the back still looks nice. However, it got pulled up, I think, because it was quite small. Let's give it to a better length, like number 12, and we see how it works. Let's have a go at sewing this Georgette fabric with a 12-inch, with settings of 12. Yep. Stitch length 12 or 10. Which one should we use? Let's use a 10. And then I'm going to loosen the stitch length, the tension, probably to 5. And let's have a go at sewing it up. Okay, here we go. I don't know whether I'm being so rough, but let's look at the stitch. It looks like it's puckering up a bit. I guess it has to do with the fabric being quite fine and it's being pulled by the feed dogs. But other than that, the stitch looks good both at the back. This is the stitch. Don't know whether my camera can focus. Looks good both at the back and at the front. However, it's pulling onto the thread. But now our next test is to sew denim together. We shall first have a go at sewing one layer of denim. Let's keep the stitch. Let's keep it at 5. Let's keep the tension at 5 and we have a go at sewing through denim. We should probably use stitch length 10. This is our stitch using stitch length number 12 on a single layer of denim. It's quite neat and it's also beautiful at the back, no skipped stitches. Probably could go ahead and also use the longest stitch and we see how it looks. Let me unlock the stitch. The longest stitch, that's the besting stitch, which is number 6. Let's see what it looks like in a single layer of denim. Yep, here we go. These are the 2 stitches we've got. This is number 12 and this is number 6, quite a longer one. They're all beautiful stitches. They're equally as beautiful in the back. No skipped stitches. It's brilliant. So we are going to go ahead and sew through two layers of denim. Then we shall have a go at 4 layers of denim or 3 layers of denim. So I'm putting these together and let's sew through them. And I think we should use size number 10, which is close to halfway. Or number 15, which is the middle ground, but 15 might be so small. Let's stick to 12. 12 might be a good size to work with. We are sewing through 2 layers of denim. Brilliant. It's still looking good. These are 2 layers of denim. The stitch is still good at stitch length number 12. Even in the back, it's really good, apart from some puckering here, I don't know. But it's equally, all in all, it's a good stitch. Then I'm going to fold it over itself. What should I do? I'm going to have a go at sewing through 3 layers of denim. Then I'll fold it over again for 4 layers, to make 4 layers, and we test out the 4 layers of denim. Then that will be the last of the stitching. Okay, this is the stitch when we sewed through 3 layers of denim. It comes off like it's a small stitch length. I think it gets to do with the layers underneath. And this is the back of the 3 layers of denim. The stitch is still beautiful. So I'm going to fold it over itself. Then I'll be sewing through 4 layers of denim, and let's see how this machine gets along with this. And this is our 4 layers of denim. This is a stitch. It comes off quite small, I think, because we have more layers underneath. I could do with widening the stitch length since I'm sewing through many layers. But this is a beautiful stitch. This is the stitch for 4 layers of denim. You turn it to the back, it still looks good. No stitch has been skipped. Probably I could have my last go at stitching it with number 7 or number 8, which is a pretty longer stitch, and that will be a oh, this looks much better actually. So this is our final stitch. This is the one we've just made with a stitch length of 8, and this is stitch length of 12, but they are both under 4 layers of denim. And this is the back of the stitch 8 and 12. It still worked well, no skipped stitches. It really looks beautiful. So I could say, and if you look at the inside, it's still stitched well with a good tension. I could say this machine, I think, if it can sew through 4 layers of denim and without any problem, I bet I can count on it to help me when I'm sewing my jeans, and I think I've got a jam. Let me know what you all think. What would you want to see me do with this machine? And as I said in the introduction, I would want to get a name for this machine. I'm happy for any suggestions, any good vintage old name that would suit this beautiful machine. Until next time, thanks for watching, and tell me what you think about this machine. Would you consider getting one? But I'm waiting for all your name suggestions. Until next time, bye-bye. Thanks for watching.